Special live stream video. I'm doing it live because why the heck not? Why the heck not? I just haven't done it live for a while, and you know, how should I put this? Yeah, I guess we'll just see where this goes, see if anyone shows up, see if anyone wants to contribute to this conversation. Until then, though, if you're watching this not live, after the fact, the TLDR version, sorry, the too long didn't read version is in the first 10 minutes of the video. And I will start by saying a shout out to Ride with Peterson. I know I give him a lot of shout outs. That's because he makes really good videos. He's a really nice guy. And this video was inspired by him. And someone left a comment on his channel. And it was such an offensive comment that, heck, I wasn't going to make a video until Monday where I was going to update you guys on something potentially very serious and devastating that's been happening to me recently. But this comment made me want to make another video. Someone actually went to Peterson, Ride with Peterson's videos, and they asked him, and by the way, hi everyone, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just talking while this is still in my brain. We will definitely interact afterwards. He was talking about how he believes the per minute charge for Uber should be 35 cents a minute. Hey, he doesn't care about the miles. The miles can stay the same. But the per minute charge should be 35 cents a minute so that everyone gets $20 an hour at least, which is fair. That is totally fair, because here's the thing. Driving for Uber is not a flipping hamburgers thing where you get kids to do it. It is a dangerous job that requires good cars, clean on the inside, decent service. You have to be able to handle yourself in a situation when there is a conflict. If there is a problem that escalates, you have to be able to get them out safely without hurting them too much while also not getting hurt yourself. And during an accident or traffic, you are the one responsible for the passenger getting there safely. It is a lot of responsibility. And by the way, Uber also isn't like Disneyland where everything's on a predetermined track and there's automated brakes and everything. It just isn't. Uber is a dangerous, dangerous job. And I think even the biggest fan of Uber, the biggest fan who likes to drive Uber, will admit this is dangerous. It has always been dangerous. It always has been. And someone wants to look at all of this and they want to say, hey, you do all this for me. You get me there safely. You provide the clean cars. Oh, by the way, thank you, part-timer, for the donation. That the super chats are more appreciated tonight than ever before. You have no idea. And hi honey. But getting back to what I was saying, that person says, hey, you do all these things for me. You make sure I get there on time. You give me a pleasant service. Heck, in most cases, you even give me water, which we do not need to do. And you are not even worth $20 an hour. I know this isn't $20, but I didn't actually have a $20 bill on me, and having a $1 bill just looked silly. So this is the closest thing I could find. That boggles my mind. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to kind of pivot this a little bit to another topic. But you'll see where I'm coming with it. I have noticed more and more recently just how stinking cheap people are. How they want the world for nothing at all. You know, there's been a lot of controversy recently with MoviePass. And I'm not going to get too much into that, maybe not. I have another channel where I've been talking about this little sucker for a long time. And there's a lot of controversy because when this thing started, or at least earlier, late last year, they dropped this to $10 a month. You could see as many movies as you want. And people loved it, of course. That was like the greatest deal in the world. I was telling people to get it. Now it has changed quite a bit where, without getting into some of the other restrictions, $10 a month still, but now you get 3 movies a month. And people are griping up and down, this is a ripoff, this is a scam, when really it's like, guys, it's still a good deal. If you see 3 movies with this, you will save $25. Is saving $25 not good enough for you? According to them, no. So I've been doing many videos on this. And then I come back, and I haven't talked about the passengers in a while on my channel because I don't know how they're acting. Last I was driving, which was just a few weeks ago, really, they have actually gotten worse. They're not much nicer anymore. I noticed that they were starting to slam doors more often. They were leaving gum, thankfully putting in the wrappers, but still throwing gum on the bottom of, the cars. They weren't talking as much. They weren't as friendly. It was just, I noticed the passengers are not as nice. And then I read this comment on Peterson's, well, I didn't read it. He shared it with me on, his YouTube channel. And I'm sure he promptly deleted the comment so that the guy didn't get harassed. But this guy had all of these things going on and still I don't think you should get $20. That is amazing to me. That is amazing. And you know what's really amazing? It kind of just goes to show once more that, as much as we cry for justice, we have this new term, social justice warrior. We are on the little guy side. And yet, those people, those very same people who it's we are here to make sure no one is offended, we cannot pay them $20. We can't pay them a living wage. And keep in mind, Uber is not just a regular job. Everyone says, oh, Uber is just this job where you just drive. Well, aside from all the things I mentioned, that, that's almost like saying this guy is the pilot. He's just a pilot. He just flies the plane. Who cares if he gets paid? Well, he's just flying the plane. The Uber drivers, yeah, they're just driving the car. They're just getting you there safely. But not only that, you're taking a step further. The pilot typically doesn't pay for his own plane. He flies for United or Delta or JetBlue, which is my personal preference. And now, I really want to talk to you guys. I see some regulars that I'm so happy to see here. But the drivers have to pay for their own cars. They have to pay for their own gas. They have to pay for their own insurance. They have to pay for their own rideshare insurance. They don't get benefits. They don't get time off. They, if the car breaks, it's on them. They don't get anything. And you still want them to make the same amount as an entry-level job? Uber is not an entry-level job. Uber is a job that should, at least in theory, be a professional, highly screened, tested before you're on the road job. These drivers, they are dealing with human life. They're dealing with human life, and a lot of things can go wrong when you're driving. Believe me, even if you don't want something to go wrong driving, that is no guarantee that nothing will go wrong. Heck, sometimes you don't even have to be doing anything for something to happen. Remember, the only 3 accidents I was ever in involved me sitting still and someone running into me. So you could be doing everything right and still get in an accident. Some people might come back and say, well, maybe that's why it doesn't matter if they're skilled or not. Well, no, because when you're driving, it's doubly dangerous, especially if you're in New York or in LA. I'm running out of my voice fast now. I haven't been this passionate about something on this channel in a long, long time. It's amazing. I'm hoping this is making great live streaming. But yeah, it's just, how greedy can people get? How greedy and selfish can they get? And you know what? I remember when I started doing this, the minimum trip was $10. You wanted to go 1 mile, it was $10. You wanted to go 3 miles, it was $10. Once you got to 5 or 6 miles, then it started getting $12, then $14, then $16. I remember when people actually paid more than $20 for 15-minute trips that were not surge, and they're like, what a great deal. It's so much cheaper than the taxi. And now the bar has been set so low like this that people can't even see a good deal when it's staring them in the face. And they can't even see the value of something. But here's the other thing. It's not just that they don't see the value in the service. It's that they don't see the value in the drivers. And that's the kind of thing that Uber banks on. That's why they keep their fares low. That's why they keep screwing you with the money. And there, and several YouTubers are absolutely right, by the way. They're absolutely right, you know, when it comes like the new surge and everything, that basically the only thing the drivers can do is drive more. And the more you drive, the more likely you are going to be in an accident. And why can't Uber just do this 35 cents a minute thing? Pass on to the customers. Well, because the customers don't want to, and they would threaten to quit. I mean, the other thing that I'm going to pivot, and this is the last time, not as many people have canceled this. I mean, you hear people just screaming, this is a bad deal, I'm canceling, and I haven't made this video yet, but there have been studies showing like, no, people really haven't. Cancellations? Maybe 3%, not a big deal. It seems like Uber could easily do this, and I don't think nearly as many people would stop using Uber as they say they would stop using Uber. So, that's my rant. That's my 11-minute rant. Uber drivers deserve $20 an hour for the safety issue, the fact that they are carrying your life. Your life is in their hands. I want that person to be well paid. They are maintaining their own cars. They are buying more cars. They are cleaning their car more often. They are paying their own insurance. They are, They are paying taxes on it. And yeah, I know the mileage write-off. You're still paying taxes on it. So, yeah, I didn't blame him for getting upset about that. I did not blame him Peterson for getting upset at that comment. I got upset of it. Enough that I actually... Here's the thing. If you want to know how bad I am with money right now, and again, I might make a video about it Monday, what's really going on. I am very much on the fence because of what's going on. But I was about to go do some Postmates. I actually can't do Uber anymore because I have been advised by my mechanic that, with the exception of doing it like once or twice every month, the car probably shouldn't be used for that. Postmates might still be fine for a little while. So I was actually going to go do Postmates. Saw this video. I saw that I hadn't watched some of his videos and saw this topic of this video. You know, he shared what the comment was, and it's like, wow. Wow. That's just $20. Again, I know that's two, but, you know. So, okay. Now that I've ranted, for everyone who's not watching this live, that's where the main topic ends. The rest of this video is probably not going to be that, and I don't know how long this is actually going to be. So I'm going to go back to the top of the comments, and I'm going to be saying hi to everyone and answering questions. So let's go back to the top. Cobra Kai, hi, how you doing? Matt, hi. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Logan. Hi, Timothy. Hi, Eric Lopez. And once again, part-timer, thank you for the $2 super chat. You guys truly have no idea how much the super chats mean to me tonight. Trump D Stock says hi, and of course there's Katie. Trump D Stock said, is Uber raise the rates in New York City? Not to my knowledge, they are not. Well, not for the drivers anyway. Matt says, so is my Uber karaoke okay? I don't know what you mean by that, but if you're singing in the car, I would probably ask the passenger. Gregory, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. And Uber Track Chicago. Love this guy, folks. He makes really good videos. Kevin, did you remind them that they did not own a car and you did? Well, as you probably figured out as watching the video, this was not an experience that happened to me recently. Oh, if you're talking about the other passengers, you know what? You try. You really, really try. And it's funny. People, when they say, hey, this is my car, please don't treat it disrespectfully, they actually treat you like, well, who are you to tell me how I can treat your car? I mean, I'm paying you. I have a right to treat your car however I want. And that is their answer. Not always in those words, but that's kind of the sense I get. So after a while, you just, and you get a lot of 1 stars when you do that. So unless they're doing something really bad, I just let it go. Dark Road Run, my moderator, says drivers deserve more than $20 an hour. Drivers deserve stock. Well, yes, because they've been building this company. They probably should get stock. I totally agree with that. Jamarin Johnson says, hi, how you doing? Cobra Kai says, when you are using your own vehicle, it's not a job. A job will provide a car for gas and all the maintenance and insurance. If Uber provided that, then I'll take less than 20. That's an interesting. Here's the thing. I think it's still a job, but it is a different kind of job. Let's put it that way. Because here's the thing. For those of you who go into business for yourself, and all you entrepreneurs know what this is, there are a certain number of expenses that you don't always see. For example, I have a big eBay and Amazon store, a stealth Amazon store. And there are always costs to it. People think that it's just, oh, you're just putting stuff. But no, you got to buy the inventory. You got to buy the fees. You got to buy the shipping. You got to buy the shipping materials. You got to drive to the post office sometimes. Because if you're just shipping like a DVD or something, yeah, just put it in the mailbox. But if you're shipping like for example, if you're shipping something like this that is just way too big, or you're selling this and you want it insured, well, yeah, you got to drive to the post office. So there are always expenses hidden that people don't see, and you always have to factor in those expenses into the price. So some people look at my stuff and they're like, well, that's too expensive for that item. And it's like, it's really not just that item. You're actually covering the whole store's expenses. That's what you're doing when you're paying for that item. I know that, for example, this is worth $10. I'm charging $15 because it's got to cover all the stuff that doesn't sell and all the other hidden expenses. But Uber has a sharp leash on what you can charge. You can't even choose what you charge. They pay you the bare minimum, and they pay you as if you don't have these expenses to deal with. That's the scummy thing. They're paying you as if you don't have these expenses in the first place. And that's where people get into the red with Uber. That's how they get into the red. So, yeah, I agree. It's different. Francisco said, correction, fast food workers don't deserve it. Well, I never said fast food workers deserve $15 an hour. In fact, I'm actually one of the people, I know it's I'm not super passionate about it one way or the other, but I don't 100% agree with the 15 an hour. I mean, for certain companies like Disneyland, yeah, that makes a little bit sense. But when you're talking about McDonald's, it's these are supposed to be jobs for kids. For years, 16-year-olds, it was their first job. It was job experience. And I know that the market's changed, so, it's just, how do I put this? There's a lot more adults working those jobs anyway, and so now they're like, hey, I'm working a lot of hours, and I want $15 an hour, and I'm not a kid. And it's like, yeah, but... And I'm sorry that this job market kind of sucks and that you're in that job, but those jobs were not meant to be long-term commitment jobs. It's like, hey, you start a job, you build some experience, you have a reference so your next employer can call them, but they're not meant to be live off them jobs. And I'm not just saying this just because I don't want to pay $12 for my quarter pounder with cheese meal. I'm saying this because, yeah, there's certain jobs that are very repetitive and they're very, very basic, and you need a starter job for young kids. Again, places like Walmart, Disneyland, those are probably places that should have $15 an hour. Not the least of which because companies make so much money that they're not going to be affected that much by it. But, fast food places, for all the profits they make, you'd be surprised what a $15 an hour job could do. Anyway, moving on. Cobra Kai says, people won't stop using Uber because they are used to it now and won't go back. No, yeah, they won't go back to the cabs. Dick Insider says, Uber's new surge fixing sucks, bro. I'm so pissed. Yep, everyone says that. Drive and Thrive said, a passenger said, what? Yep, that's what the passenger said. Dark Road Run said, wish we had an open source rideshare platform that let us set our own rates and charge a flat rate. Well, that's what Yay Driver attempted to do, and it just never really caught on. And I don't really know what happened with that. I was even in communication with the guy who was setting that all up, Slavic, and I haven't heard from him in a while. Slavic, if you're out there, I'm more than I'd like to know what's going on, man. But that was like a, hey, there's a minimum, and after you do so many rides and you've proven yourself to be valuable, then you can start charging more. And Sidecar tried that at one point, but I also understand the complications of it. One price would be ideal, minus surge. The problem is the price that we have now is just way too low. Oh, Mac, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. David Gooley said, funny how passengers believe that drivers don't deserve $20 per hour when drivers have better driving skill and experience in addition to providing a service to a rider. Yeah, it's kind of like some of those managers at Jamba Juice that you talk to them. They have like a master's degree in something, and it's like, what on earth are you doing here? There are so many Uber drivers that have skills that they should ideally be putting towards something else that they could be making so much more money from, and yet they're spending it driving you around, and you don't even want to appreciate that. That's another thing. Barry Andrews said, I joined the Teamsters Union in my 20s and lasted till my 40s. Pension, healthcare, 4 weeks vacation, 6 sick days, 6 personal days, 7 paid holidays, toppled out at $34 an hour. CLD driver said, that's pretty good. I don't think anyone would complain about that. George Gonzalez says, Uber has raised rates more than once with upfront pricing and raised actual rates. Riders haven't stopped using the app, so their excuse that passengers will stop using the service until of course it is, but they need something to say to the driver, so there you go. Drive and Thrive said, no way I could handle those rude passengers. Well, I handled them for a long time. Dick Insider says, we all need to go offline for a month, make them suffer. Yeah, no, make them suffer, get offline, but you know what? Protests are very unlikely to work. Not only do you have people not having a hard time getting offline, but here's the thing. What else? Yeah, they're just new people are going to come up. And also, there's a sad reality that some people, this is just what they can do. In fact, I'm going to share a little story. I watched a YouTuber's video fairly recently. Now, I'm not going to use the person's name because the history between us is fairly well known. And it's been their first video I'd watched in a long time, and they said something that I kind of keep forgetting sometimes. I really do forget this once in a while when I say, hey, you just got to stop, you got to get out of it. And he said, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to be driving more Uber. I'm going to be driving a lot more Uber because this new surge could really affect me, but I don't know any other way to make this much money a year. And I have stated over and over, I don't think it's healthy for drivers to be driving 70, 80 hours a week. I don't think it's healthy to be doing this every single day, to not have a life, to put it on hold. But in this guy's head, he needs this much money a year. And he doesn't know another job which he can make it. He found a way to do it, and of course he's going to stick with it. And I keep forgetting that, yeah, there is an element to this where some people look at this and they've looked at their other options, and it's like, I don't know what else to do. I have been fortunate that I have found a situation where I didn't need to do it until this week, and now I can't do it because of what the advice the mechanic gave me. But that when you need to do it, it's very much appreciated. But the funny thing is, even he's admitting, like, maybe in a year and a half or two, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. And okay, that's fair. Maybe there's a goal, and maybe once you hit that goal, you get out of it. So, and I don't like this person in general, for the record. But I watched this video. It's the first one I'd watched in a long time, and it was like, well, I can understand that. There's just a lot of people who just can't get out of it, or whether because they have their own set goal, or because they don't have any other skills, or maybe there's just no jobs in the area. And it's just one other thing that Uber preys on. And of course, the cheapo customers who say things like, you don't deserve $20 an hour, say, hey, you should be happy you have a job at all. Yeah, whatever. So, Smart Driver TV said, do TaskRabbit. I've tried so many times to get on TaskRabbit. I don't know why I'm not accepted. Trump D-Stock said, is there another alternative to this job, online or trading stocks? Well, guys, here's the thing. As someone who buys stocks quite frequently, I'm going to tell you right now, stocks is a good thing you can do to potentially invest in your future, but it's not a quick way to make money. And the stocks that I buy, I'm not going to get rich quick for the most part. I'm waiting 5 years for them to make more money. I'm going to sell them when they're high, and then reinvest in something and hope that goes up. And it's not even a guarantee. I mean, heck, I put a couple $100 in this thing. Penny stocks. Had thousands of shares. It's trading at 2 cents a share. Company will probably go bankrupt. It's not a guaranteed thing. Let's see here. Drive and Thrive says, there are pros and cons of being an independent contractor. It would be hard to have me make an employee to have me become an employee of any of the rideshare platforms. And I've noticed that when BMW launched their rideshare service, a lot of people rejected it because it's like, that was a situation where it was like, they're not making more than $20 an hour, but they're guaranteed $14 an hour. They're guaranteed sick time and vacation days, and they're not using their own cars. And I thought, well, hey, this is a great alternative if people need that. And a lot of people, it's like, no, I just like my freedom. I don't like working for people. So some people are just like that. But Linzer said they listened to the drivers and updated the app, but we still can't see riders' picture after we accept ride requests. Yeah. Oh, hey, Crystal Lee. Chicago's in the house. Cobra Kai said absolutely. Trump D-Stock said, what to do if about the default in the car loan? Well, if you default on a car loan, then the car gets taken. That's what it is. Drive and Thrive says, one thing to consider with Uber is within 5 years, Uber may go fully automated, and we will be wishing we could still drive for them, though. Some people might say that. They're not going to be fully automated in 5 years. I don't even think they're going to be fully automated in 10 years, to be honest. I've been saying that for like 3 years now, so who knows? Like, they just never are able to get ahead of that, in my opinion. But they, you know what? Here's the thing. Like, if we're like doing, again, I think people would be okay driving for this at fair rates. But if they're taking away our $6 an hour job, I don't think anyone's going to be missing that. I really don't. They consider 180 days of change. My behind middle finger Dari. Yep. Smart RT says Task. Yeah, I'm trying to get on TaskRabbit. David Gooley says, which area do you drive? Let's see here. Drive and Thrive. Oh, thank you, Drive and Thrive. Thank you for your super chat. I am really appreciating the super chats tonight. Dark Road Run said, San Francisco used to be great. Can't believe Uber won't even give us a panic button in the new app. Well, I do believe they should give you that option, but I also understand why that would potentially be dangerous. Because if you're getting attacked by someone and you press the panic button, and they see that you've pressed the panic button, they might be even less inclined to de-escalate the situation because they know they've been reported and the police are on the way. So there's some problems with that, I am aware. But the fact that they gave one to the passengers and didn't give one to the drivers, that does strongly suggest that, at the very least, they don't care about the drivers. Let's see here. Cobra Kai said, not healthy at all. Because I can says, to the person who said that the fast food workers don't deserve $15 an hour, maybe they don't deserve $15 an hour, but they deserve a decent wage. Everyone can't go to school and get an education. I agree with that. And here's the thing about the $15 an hour that I'm just going to throw out there. Not that I'm an expert on this or anything. But it's mainly being pushed in like places like LA, where the minimum wage is like $12 an hour. $15 an hour would $15 an hour here would not be a stretch. And it would be just enough that people could probably go to school and do work part-time. But nationwide, I mean, you're talking about some places that will be going from paying people like $8 an hour, and in places where there's like $8 an hour, the cost of living are so much cheaper, and they're having to double the wages. So like in California, this actually isn't even going to affect California all that much. But in other parts of America, yeah. So I agree that some that people should at least, and that's what the minimum wage should be. The minimum wage should always be a fair amount. And I actually think the biggest problem myself is apartment prices. Because the standard rule when minimum wage was applied was that it meets the bare minimum. And one of the bare minimum requirements for minimum wage was like, you can afford a studio and the rent is no more than 25% of your paycheck. And for years, a lot of states lived like that, but now it's so totally different. Like, I can only judge by California standards, but like California, a studio is like $1,000 a month plus utilities. So you're looking at like minimum wage people who it's like they have to get 2 or 3 people in that studio to just to live comfortably. That is wrong. That is wrong. I personally don't think the issue is the wage they're paid. I think the issue is the cost of living, primarily the housing market. The housing market is just nickeling and diming people, and people pay it because it's one of those things that they kind of realize it's kind of like gas. People need it. They can't live without it, so they're just going to put up with it, apparently. And, I mean, they put up with it to a reason, but there's a reason San Francisco was this close to being 70% squatters, because there's only so much people can ultimately pay to where they just don't leave and they don't pay anything. So I think if you want to really improve the situation, you get the housing prices down first. That's what I think. RJ says trucker drivers up to 70 hours a week. Yeah, but they also get... I know someone who was a trucker. He's passed away. May he rest in peace. And he would he would do like a 70, 80 hour week for a couple of weeks, and then he'd get like a week off, and it'd be like a paid week off. So that was pretty nice. Jesus Gonzalez says, I think we should charge, for example, you can go into the bus $3 fare with you in a party at 3. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Hey, Chell, how you doing? She says, I think all drivers, if they can, take days off. Yeah, they can. They should be able to take days off. And that's another thing where, like, another thing Peterson did a video on was he's officially driving 7 days a week, which is one of the reasons we haven't made any videos together, because with the recent rate cuts, and there's no flat surge here yet, but he needs to make so much a day. He has to drive 10 a.m. to midnight every single day. If he sleeps in, he doesn't make money, and he can't pay his bills. And that's not sustainable. I mean, he says he's crazy and he's stupid, and it's like, well, you're dedicated. I'll give you that, but you know, if I were in that situation personally, I would be working up for a backup plan. I'd be making a backup plan as soon as possible, because it's just I don't know. So let's see here. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by, Chell. Have a good night. Eric Lopez says, I haven't done Uber for over 2 months. I did a little Uber, but my mechanic, like I said, he's kind of stating that it's not a good idea. And again, I'm on the fence whether or not I should make this video. Because if I make the video, I'm going to ask something of my viewers that I really, really hate to ask. But I definitely had a financial situation. I have a financial situation that really needs to be met right now. And I considered doing Uber again. And I had the car looked at by a friend who's a mechanic. And he said a few things. He said, you know, this is a nice car. It's still running very good. But here's the thing. It is 10 years old. I see the miles on it. And I'm even seeing some of the kinks where, like, hey, if you're just driving this a little bit to and from work, then this is not an issue right now. But if you start driving for a few hours a day and you start putting all these miles on it, some of these parts will fail a lot faster. You'll need to replace them, and I can't guarantee your car will survive by the end of the year if you do that. And I stressed to him, I really need the money. I actually, believe it or not, I hate asking for money. I mean, you know, I pimp my Patreon page, but that's like, hey, if you want to contribute, feel free to below. It helps. It goes back into the channel, and I'm always appreciative to any money that comes in. But typically, I don't like to beg. I always like it to be optional, where it's like, hey, and it's like, so when I came up with this situation, I was like, hey, I need to drive. I need to make some extra money. Hence why I'm probably still going to be doing Postmates tonight, because I need some money. And he's like, yeah, I understand. And you know what? Yeah, I can see why you'd want to do Uber. You could definitely turn your situation around relatively fast. But if your car breaks before you turn it around, you're in a much worse position than you were before. So yeah, I'm actually in a position where I want to do Uber, but it is actually being advised that I don't. So it's... yeah, so right now, Postmates and Caviar and maybe Grubhub, they're kind of what I have to do right now, because there's not really nearly as much driving on those. So let's see here. Glenn Francisco said, "Is this effective this month?" Yeah. Eric Lopez says, "No new app, no new search, everything the same, but Uber's still garbage. That's why I won't do it." How you doing? Princess Oha, can I get a shout out? Shout out to Princess Oha. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I pronounce so many names badly. I'm so sorry. Sketchone says, "What's good? I read the topic. Which jackass saying that, bro? Some guy over at Ride with Peterson's channel. He made a video about it too." Francisco says, "Full autonomy equals 100% fully autonomous vehicles. Not happening anything." Nope, it won't. Sketchone said, "My city of NYC just started the soon-to-be chain reaction of rideshare in about a year. Every state will do this." Well, maybe. We don't know if they will. Paul Number said, "Uber Eats will always need drivers. I don't see it in either way." And you know what? I'm actually... One thing that I probably can do is I am going to be applying for Uber Eats for the first... I mean, the funny thing is they still sent me some Uber Eats when I wasn't signed up for Uber Eats. And, well, okay, I took them. And now that they allow tipping in the app, well, maybe that's what I need to do, especially since it's curbside. But, you know, whatever. Drive and Thrive said, "Seattle has $15 an hour and it's not enough. It depends on the city." Yeah. That's the funny thing is like, because the fight for 15 an hour in California, I know that even if they're getting paid 15 an hour, it's still not enough for someone to get in a studio and pay their rent. It's like, no, they need to address the housing market crisis. SS says, "Subs, how you doing?" Paul Nuber said, "What? I pay under $500 for a studio in Cleveland." Yeah, welcome to California. California's insane. Let's see here. Sketchone says, "NYC studios are starting at $1,200 a month, and not everyone's going to get into affordable housing apartments also." Exactly. Driver Tire said, "The thing to consider is that we have the first revenue income as a nation and the second GDP, but we have 50% of people living under the poverty rate. San Francisco and Seattle being ruined by the tech industry." Trump D Stock said, "John McCain dies." Okay. Did he actually die today? Now I'm curious. I know he said that he was ceasing getting treatments for his brain tumor. You're right. He did die. And Trump reacts. I'm kind of curious to see what Trump's going to say, because Trump did not like this guy. Okay, I could live with that. So, for those of you who are not aware, this is what Trump said about John McCain. Now, he probably doesn't mean it, in all fairness. He called McCain a bunch of dopey names, of course. But yeah, I'll say, you know what? It's nice. I'll give him that much credit. He held back saying something stupid like, "I totally disagree with him, but may he rest in peace." So, wow. I am so sorry, McCain. Well, we knew that was going to happen at some point. Wow, that was that's tough. That's tough. He was I liked him a lot personally. So, okay, continuing with this live stream, which actually got a lot more active than I thought it would be. Drive and Thrive says the housing market are inflated because of Amazon. Oh yeah, no, I agree. Amazon, Starbucks, Microsoft, they're all in Seattle. They're definitely making it crazy expensive to live there. It used to be very cheap to live there. Now it's not. Electric Field says, "Crazy how Peterson works more than 8 hours a day." You know, if you want to make like a real living wage, especially in LA, you got to do it. Which it's like, I'm sorry, I just can't. Crystal Lee says, "I do Uber, Lyft, TaskRabbit, Tackle. I've never heard of Tackle or Shipped." Crystal Lee, do you have referral codes for Tackle and Shipped? Send them to me with my business email below. I will sign up through you and give it a shot. Sketchone says, "Uber and Lyft trick us to work 7 days a week with these bonuses. It ain't worth it." I've not been offered a bonus in a long time. Steve B says, "Uber is charging passengers more upfront, but not sharing with drivers. I had a fare today, and Uber got $7.58. I got $4.35. Yep. There you go. Crystal Lee says, "Kevin, get a rental through Hire Car. It's pretty cheap on LA." I'll look at Hire Car, But the thing is, with the other things that I'm doing that are still making money, I mean, I thought about renting the car to do some Uber and Lyft, but would I? I'd have to make so much, and now I'd have to be factoring the rental price as well. So I don't know, but that's not a terrible idea. I'll think about it. Um, Driver Thrive. I think people are underestimating how much 5G is going to affect automation. I don't think it's going to affect much. Driver 631 says Chicago bearded driver still talks crap about you. You know, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. I mean, frankly, I don't think he has many friends to begin with. After I've just said I have to give him a little bit of. I sympathize with him a little bit, but yeah, he doesn't have a lot of friends anyway, so that's his thing. I mean, his claim to fame was that he got all of his subscribers once he started trash talking me, so of course he's going to keep doing it. Trump D Stock says this channel doesn't provide a value. I don't know if you're talking about me or the other guy, but if you don't find value in a channel, yeah, don't watch it. That's fine. Gary says, dude, I did Uber Eats for dinner on Thursday, made $60 in 2 hours, and miles were low. Yep, see, that's good. If you can do that, then that's very, very nice. That's very nice. Yeah, okay, now all you people, now everyone's like reacting to McCain dying in the, Ernesto Lozano says, Kevin, check out Winalo. It's on-demand app for warehouse. What the heck? Wow. Okay. Ernesto, thank you so much for pointing this out to me. I'm going to be using this, but in a way that you probably don't expect. So thank you. This might be very helpful. Sketchone said, it's not enough for NYC for $15 an hour for someone that works part-time at a McDonald's unless you are a supervisor or franchise owner. Well, I'm just curious. Like, how much, because 40 hours is the average work week. So 15 times 40, that's $600 a week, and that's times that by 4, $2,400 a month. There's going to take taxes out. That's still not enough for most people. If your apartment is starting at $1,200, it's just not. Uber Track Chicago says, glad to hear you're back in the saddle, even if for a bit. Keep grinding, stay positive, and don't quit. Thanks. I get the sense that there's certain people that respect me a little bit more when I'm driving, but thank you. Actually, okay. All right, whatever. Salvador says the new minimum wage still won't change the root of the problem. No, it won't, because first of all, again, I think the root of the problem is the housing and the gas. I think those are the big problems. And then the second thing is, yeah, everything will they'll just charge more for everything, so people pay more. Like, that's the whole reason that it doesn't work in the first place. I mean, I remember I lived through a minimum wage raise. It was, I think, the second term of George W. Bush. I was working at Round Table Pizza. He rose the minimum wage from $8 and something cents to $10.95. And at the Round Table I worked at, everything went up either between 30 cents to $1 in price. Everything went up. And one person was fired. So that doesn't seem like that's helping anyone, but, you know. So let's see here. We left out Shift Gig and Uber Eats. What is Shift Gig? I'm actually learning that I might be a little behind on some of these Shift Gig. All right, another thing to look into. Rick James says, I know there are markets that haven't gone with the flat surge as of yet. For example, Portland and Salem, Oregon, still have the multiplier surge rate. Well, we don't have the multipliers yet, but it doesn't mean it's not coming. They're just doing it slowly, like they always do. Gary said, awesome live stream. Got to go. Oh, thanks, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Rick says, Rick James says, not sure if other areas still operate in the surge multiplier, but I'm sure flat surge will spread nationwide. Oh, it will. It absolutely will. Smart Driver TV said, stop with this minimum wage. You don't need a minimum wage. Yeah, Smart Driver TV, I'm just going to respectfully disagree. Juice323 Blue said, you can make $700 to $1,000 if you work full-time and complete the bonus. If you're offered the bonus. Keep in mind, people who drive more often than not don't. And Peterson is in the house. How you doing, buddy? And just to let you know, yeah, your video inspired me to do this. So, supposed to be 10 minutes. The rant went for 13, and now we're still here an hour, almost an hour later. So, there you go. Okay, so Andrea Clark says, NYC still use surge multiplier. Sketchone says, it's stopped to start looking... I think you mean it's time to start looking for other ways to make money, probably. Ernesto says, Kev, you're welcome on Winalo. Here is an excellent on-demand gigs. Driver631 says, just moved to Sweden to join the socialist group. No, I'm not a socialist. I am not a socialist, guys. I believe in a... Guys, what part of me seems like I'm a socialist? I'm a capitalist. I complain about Uber not paying enough, but you also see me not driving for the most part because they're not paying enough. You see me diversifying because they're not paying enough. And you even see me criticizing the $15 an hour minimum wage because it's going to hurt a lot more people than it helps because the market will just adjust. I am not so socialist. I'm just wondering, very logically, why can't Uber pay 35 cents a minute instead of 11 cents a minute? That's all I'm arguing right now. Along with a bunch of other random stuff that we're talking about. But, you know. Let's see here. And Ride with Peter. And Peterson reiterates his call for 35 cents per minute is for all vehicle categories. And I say that too. Andrea Clark says it's about $2,000 for a studio apartment, not $1,200. Well, where are you, though? In New York, you're probably right. Like, you know, I'm actually going to... I'm curious. Let's go to rent.com. I love rent.com. Let's start. So then, how about let's go with Hollywood, CA. And yeah, I know about all the tabs. It's just, you know, that's so more filters. We are doing a studio. It's just going to be a studio. And yeah, let's just do that. Let's just see what that brings. Yeah, you're right. Over $2,000, and that's the LA area right there. So, yeah. So, question for everyone watching the live stream: do any of you think $15 an hour is going to fix all this? I don't know. $15 an hour. It looks like, you know, we're $2,400 a month. I mean, heck, that's $50 more than what you make, and you're paying taxes. So, yeah, no. See, this is where it's out of control, guys. That is completely where it's out of control. So, Clee said socialism isn't a dirty word anymore, except it always fails. So, it's not a dirty word because I think a generation has forgotten just how it totally fails every single time they try to implement it. Personal opinion, of course, but... oh, you're in Brooklyn. Well, as you can see, near Hollywood, apparently that was pretty close. Okay, Godfather says, if you had a reliable 6-passenger vehicle, your only expense is gas. Everything covered. Use your personal as well as provide same type vehicle. Broke down. Could you make money? Oh, this is a question. I'm sorry. If you had a reliable 6-passenger vehicle, your only expense is gas. Everything covered. Use for personal as well as provide same type vehicle. Could you, when you broke down, could you make money? Probably. Not a lot. Smart Driver, I know you're making a lot of money on TaskRabbit. I'm really gonna have to ask you to stop, though. We get it. If you keep going, I'm gonna have to put you in a timeout. You don't be spamming the chat room. So, Godfather, $400 per week is charged. Malaki Adesco said no. Michael Tavera says, yeah, but that $2,000 doesn't even include paying for parking. Oh, yeah, because New York has like a lot. I mean, like a lot of parking. A good parking spot's probably really hard to find over there. Sketchum said Uber trying to go public, which is why they keep us drivers working so much. Well, among other things. Guardian Abuse says, not sure what rental options you have in your market, but Maven Gig is a pretty good deal. Look into it. I don't know if Hertz or Enterprise rent in your area. Then you have to commit to driving a lot. Yeah, Hertz and Enterprise charge a lot. So, when you rent, you don't have to worry about repairs, maintenance, or insurance. Just the rental fee and gas. Yep. Amazon Flex could be a pretty good deal too. Yep. So... Okay, Riders Peterson says, the reason why no will work is because as an Uber Select driver, my compensation is 30 cents per minute after Uber commission. Black is 33 cents, Uber, all at 35 cents. Yeah, that's true. I agree with it. I agree with that. So, wow, I finally, I've caught up. I've caught up to the messages. Whew. A whole hour. I didn't expect this to be going for, well, not a whole hour, but, you know. And now my laptop is showing that it is low, so get the, where is it? Where's the charger? There we go. You gotta love it. You gotta love it live. Smart Driver TV says, just live in Airbnb. Oh, Rick's Giggle. Haven't seen you here in a while. How you doing? So, okay. Guardian View says, Seattle has an association for the drivers. We need that everywhere. Yeah, we do. And I think it'll happen at some point. The drivers are getting fed up. They're wanting to unionize a lot more. So, there you go. Well, it's been a minute, buddy. Yep. So, we are almost at the hour mark. I think I will try to get us to the hour mark, but otherwise, unless anyone has any other questions, I think we can start wrapping this up. I wish I had a movie or something to give you guys, but you know what? I'm wondering, before we commit to saying good night, do I have any I don't know where, well, I don't know where the codes are, guys, so I guess I'm gonna have to find one and just save it for the next live stream, because this is definitely qualifies as worth giving something out, but I don't have anything right now. Okay, Christine. Hi, Christine. How you doing? Just came. 8 and recap. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna probably end the live stream soon, so you can just watch the first 10 minutes. That'll recap everything. Andrea Clark said Friday night and Saturday night only time I drive. $500-$600 Long Island. XL. Peterson says, I also feel the mileage range should be $1.35 a mile. That way the driver receives $1 a mile. Yeah, I agree, because 35 cents of that is going to be going to get the gas. Rick says, as Uber drivers, we all need to come together. Pedro says, yeah, good luck getting them to come together, though. Fred says, I have to pick up my XL ride. Catch you all later. All right. Catch you later. Guardian Abuse says, unfortunately, some of these old school people will not try the new alternative cures, the healthy cures for the cancer. DC, hi, Kevin. Try being a medical courier. They pay up to $20 trip depending on the company. As long as you're not freaked out by eyeballs and specimens, you'll be good. they have an app for that. That'd be an interesting video to make. Okay, N Guardian Abuse is talking about chemo and radiation. I don't know why exactly, but Michael says, I'm thinking of selling my cars and just taking Uber. Prob save me a lot of money. It'll save you money now, but here's the thing. Uber wants a monopoly. They're not profitable at this, and once Uber is the primary transportation, then they will raise the prices. It always happens. Ashley M. George says, I have a question. I'm scared of getting in a wreck. What should I do? My anxiety is horrible. How to cope? I don't know how to... I would personally speak to a therapist. I can't give you advice on that. I mean, I used to have anxiety driving, and personally, my necessity to get places and drive myself is what helped me get over that. But I don't... that's not going to work for everyone. So, yeah, you're just gonna have to I would recommend talk to a therapist about that. Figure out what the root of the problem is there. Rick Skiggle says, I'm still making $1,500, $2,000 a week. It's okay so far, but the new surge does suck. And he says, the rideshare revolution says hi. Is he live streaming like right now, or is that just like a joke? I mean, it's fine if you live. Anyone wanna have? Yeah, this is today. It's really funny. Today's like the first day I've looked at his channel in a long time. Oh, well, if he says hi, then hi in return. I mean, I'm not going to be a jerk about it. I want to be pleasant. Ernesto says, Kevin, list of on-demand gigs, Google, hurdler.com, list of... Yeah, there is a Facebook group called Gig Economy Warriors. They have a list of all the gig economy apps you can do, so check that out. Yeah, everyone says it was a joke, so... So anyway, we don't need to talk about him. Like I said, I kind of came to peace with what he's doing. I just don't think he's very nice. Ashley M. George says, I love Uber and Lyft. It gives me good extra money. Well, if you're driving Uber and Lyft, then yeah, it sounds like your anxiety is taking care of itself. No, Rick, no hate. That's a joke, and it's like, now that I know it's a joke, it's not bad. But anyway, so boy, that video I did about the surge, I just looked, over 5,000 views already. If that ain't an indication that that's screwing with people, then I don't know. But my Slack video, only 655. Oh, the difficulties of expanding your channel. Hey, AZ Driver, how you doing? Been a while since I've seen you too. Hope everything's going fine. So, new surge freaking sucks. Yep. Yeah, it does. I don't think anyone's actually in the mood to say anything good about it. Anything. So, Gustavo says, I chew gum to control my anxiety, especially when it's in an area I'm not familiar with. Oh, I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Lazy. Ashley, my Uber app didn't update. I wonder why. Well, it's because it's not everywhere yet, to be perfectly frank. They're slowly but surely rolling it out. Boy, my arm is getting tired. I might have to end this soon, just because this always looks easier than it is, but it's actually very, very hard. So anyway, hey guys, I'm gonna ask one more question. I'm just gonna ask one more question, and of course this is purely hypothetical. Completely hypothetical. Do you think it's ethical for YouTubers to open GoFundMe accounts when they are in a really bad situation? The conversation came up today, and I don't know, I'm just kind of curious from an audience perspective, I don't know, I'm not talking about if the Completionist or John Campy or someone really popular did, but let's say Uber Hints did hypothetically, of course, opened a GoFundMe page because he was really in a bad financial situation. Would you guys be offended by that per se, or would you contribute? I'm just curious. Um, oh, hi, Desi. How you doing? Uber Driver 101, wow, GoFundMe for YouTubers. We make money on videos already. Well, I'm not talking about that, obviously. I'm talking about, like, say, there's, like... Because, you know, GoFundMe is like this thing, and we were talking about it because there's that news about that. There was about that veteran who... This homeless veteran. This guy discovered a homeless vet. He decided to make, like, a GoFundMe for them, I believe, and the vet took great offense to it. And... You know, I don't know. I'm just kind of been curious because, you know, like I said, there's if the YouTuber like finds himself like a very bad financial situation for something that was really unexpected, you know, and they kind of like put it all on the line, like, hey, I really need some money and I hate asking, but if anyone can give me $2, I don't know, would people be okay with that? Would they say thanks but no thanks? Would they unsubscribe? I don't know. I've not seen too many YouTubers do that, and the conversation came up today, so I was just kind of curious. I thought this would be an interesting topic since I have 50 people here. Let's see here. Michael Taver said, it's your YouTube channel, do what you want. Your driver Mike said, hello, I'll no to random GoFundMe, but Patreon is okay. Okay, Mike. Ashley M. George says, I don't think that it's unethical as long as it's legit and the truth. We all need help sometimes. Clay says, if Michael Cohn can, then I don't. Peterson says, I personally don't see a problem with it. I personally would not do a GoFundMe page myself. Uber Driver 1 was, hi everyone, I hope everyone's day has been good. I had a so-called service animal crap in my van today. Yeah, I saw that video. Fun. But yes, you do what you gotta do. Rick Skiggle said, bro, I would support anyone if I can. I was in a bad debt crunch and everyone thought I was doing good, but was really penny pinching and I finally had to ask for help. If it's real, then yes. Randy Robinson said, Detroit market still has a multiplier surge. Not everyone here has a new app yet. Uber Driver 101 says, show me the money. Rick says, I don't judge because we can all come across bad times at random. Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it? Right Pearson, between YouTube, Amazon, Patreon, Facebook, Uber, and Lyft, any YouTuber should be able to fix their problem without. You know, that's an in theory thing. In theory, yeah. But, you know, anyway. Let's see here. Right, Randy Ross says, as far as fast food being for young kids, starter jobs, it just doesn't exist anymore. Everyone's fighting for a job these days. There was no such thing as a starter job, unfortunately. Yeah. Yep. So your driver Mike says, good, thanks for asking. Filming today and going to be out and about with Amazon Flex tonight. New app, look clean. So let's see here. Oh, I was out. So okay, that's an interesting response. So okay, I was just curious. So anyway. And Uber Driver 101 says, with Uber Peterson, yeah, it would have to be something very important or an emergency that I would say is okay for a YouTuber to do. Yeah. Well, you know, we're not talking about like GoFundMe's for like, you know, just any other, any general thing, you know, just, you know, it was just a question I had because, you know, like I said, the conversation came up today, and it was kind of interesting how at the table, like, one person was like, no, you don't ask for money at all. You don't. And the other person's like, well, considering the situation you just put on the table, then I don't see anything wrong with that. And it's kind of interesting what people... Crystal Lee says, we're all a community. Why not ask for help when you need it? Okay. All right. Well, that was very interesting. So, okay, I guess that was pretty much the only question I had. We're now past the hour mark, so you know, let's see here. What the? What? An ad just popped out. Ride Peterson said, I did think about establishing a GoFundMe page to help me buy an existing limo company that had an LA Uber SUV slot, but I decided against it. Well, you know, for that, I'd actually probably say a Kickstarter would be more appropriate because people are more likely to invest in a business. Sorry, I gotta lean down and grab my keys. People are more likely to invest in that if you are upfront that you're investing in a business. GoFundMes are ideally made for people who have like unexpected medical expenses and stuff. KG says, on your Uber removed a key feature on the new app video, what's up with the 4.80 rating? I wondered, do you come off as a a-hole to customers, kind of like you do in your videos? No. Let's see here. Do I come off as an a-hole to people? Now I'm curious. When you say I come off doesn't like an a-hole, are you suggesting that like I kick people out of my car, like I, you know, do this to you? Like that? Like, is that what you're referencing? No, I don't kick people out of my car. 4.8 is actually the average. So there you go. Yes, it is. I don't have time to. Oh no, actually, KG, he is hidden from this channel. He will not be on this channel anymore. He's officially banned. So, yeah. Crystal's got to get back on the road. Good stream tonight. Take care. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Happy that you were here. So, anyway, so is there anything else we could talk about before we wrap this up? Did you ever try Uber Freight since you can make a... No, I don't have the resources to try Uber Freight. You need to... That's a trucking company thing. That's not a... I'm not going to do that with a Corolla. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. So, all right, guys. So, I think we've got this. How is your movie pass? Still got it. Still got it. Actually, this is the fake one that this is the expired ones that I use as a prop for my other channel. We're talking a lot about Movie Pass on my other channel, so oh, you're welcome, Peterson. Yeah, no, that comment pissed me off. I mean, and I guess that's where you and me are a little different. You you actually got fairly upset for what I've seen you do, but I was fairly livid. I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Like, I wasn't even gonna do a live stream or a video. I was gonna let the other video write itself out, but yeah, I saw that and it was like, nope, I am so commenting on that. And I thought that the audience interaction might have been fun, so, you know. Anyway, so that's where we're pretty much going to end the live stream unless someone says something at the last second that I need to comment on. So, for those of you who might have not been watching this live, and thank you for watching it after the fact. So, you know the drill. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy our videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but every little bit goes a long way, especially nowadays. And thank you especially to everyone who gave me a super chat today. I really appreciated it. So, thank you. Have a good night and flame responsibly. I guess. Where is it? I guess I am going to go do some Postmates.